We're live, bitch.
Hello, everybody. Meow. Meow, 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 meow.
We're live, bitch.
Yo.
Oh my god,
we
dude.
haven't done one together in a long time. It's been a
Oh
while.
shit. We definitely haven't. Dude, I'm wearing this sexy cap, dude, to the camera. Holy hell.
I can't even see you. I'm trying to post this up on Twitter.
You're gonna be able to see it on the screen on the Twitch
on
stuff.
the Twitch stream?
Yeah.
Oh, you got... Oh, I can see you there.
With my little
Awesome.
headphones here too. So dude,
Awesome.
I mean, I'm trying to make it better. I'm trying to make
I'm
it
probably
better,
gonna wear
man.
a hat too to hide, incognito. Probably glasses too.
Oh, dude, I want to show you some stuff. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. There's so many layers here. Holy shit.
Hold on one second. I'm just sharing this on Twitter. Hi everybody.
Yeah,
You guys are
how's everyone doing? We haven't
So
done one for a long time.
Yeah,
Haven't we?
it's been a long time.
It's been a
It's
long
been
time.
months. Yeah, we were supposed to do that mother project, and then
And then it just sort of like stalled. But that's here's what's up, guys. I mean, we're probably gonna work on it later.
Yeah.
We definitely want to do work on it because it's like it is like this sort of collaborative experience of working together and then learning new things and inviting people to help us out. But we just stumbled on some other priorities, some things that just need to be done. Need to be
Yeah.
done a little sooner, I would say. So
the hat's so funny because it cuts out your eyes. Yeah. It's
hey,
great.
you can see my eyes right here. So
Well, what we wanted to do is Maciej has been recently falling in love with
with myself.
Manga Studio and himself too. But he was really getting into this like Manga Studio. Is it called Manga Studio or Clip Art Pro? Or what is it?
It used to be Manga Studio. Now it's called Clip Studio
Yeah.
Paint X.
Okay.
X for sex.
Whoa.
Yeah, it is pretty good software, I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah, I don't know where to start. I mean, it's different than Photoshop. A lot of people are actually were asking like, what kind of software is this? When I was posting screenshots. There's a
Yeah.
little dead body here.
Oh.
Little guy with the bullet.
Well, you stopped drawing me in your pieces that we had to talk about that.
Yeah,
That wide
know.
angle lens though.
that wide angle lens though.
She's like, I just shot him. Look at me, I'm hot. Look at me, I just shot him.
Yeah, that's the little Showtime painting I'm doing. It's gonna be holding like a second gun here. I want to add like a lot of bullet shells and bullet holes. It's just gonna be like a lot of work here. The one thing that like all of those paint and you know that you've been doing this with Lost Boy, where you know how long it takes to do everything like this. We're just
Yeah.
particularly fucking
Takes forever, man.
yeah. It takes a lot of time.
It's
But
not
see,
like an octane render. You're
No.
like, oh, bam.
done. Yeah, I'm coming to done, man. I have those 8 GTXs and I can just chill.
You have 8 GTXs now, right? Total?
Well, yeah, I do. And then one of my computers basically just decided to crap on me. So, well, the old one, the new one works really well. The old one needs fixing. But my buddy Steven Doling from Blizzard is gonna look into it. I am just computer stupid, so I don't even want to touch it. I've put it together and I only had problems. So you know this, you know this yourself. You've been going through the
I'm dealing with
debacles.
it myself too, yeah. And putting my computer, I will never do that again. Just because I'm too busy and I'd rather do other things. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's jump into it. I want to just say hello to everyone who's joining us today too,
What's up, everybody?
because it's been a while. It's been a while.
Kisses, blow
We've
kisses.
been on a break for holidays and Christmas and New Year's, and it was awesome. I haven't done shit basically. I laid on the
Take
couch
pictures
and
of sand.
took pictures of the sand. I went with my family for
Yeah,
a
you enjoyed
trip
yourself.
North California, and basically we rented like right on the beach and just did fucking nothing, nothing. Like
Yeah.
let's go to aquarium, let's go to fucking this awesome park. No, fuck that. We just like gonna fart in the couch. That's pretty much as I'm gonna do. So that was really relaxing, not to like force and stress yourself to go to the places that everyone else would expect you to go to. You know what I mean? But just
Yeah.
relax. I haven't painted anything. I haven't done any art, anything like that. It's just like, yeah, do nothing.
It's good though. It's good though.
Yeah, it's important,
think-
man.
It's important to take that rest and that break. You know, we talk about like working super hard and always doing, you know, a million things at the same time, running the school, working on our our client projects, and also
Yeah.
doing our own personal projects like you're doing here. It's really difficult, you know, to have all those things in between and to like feed all that things, you know. So, yeah, it's good to take a break though.
Exactly. So yeah, here we are with the Manga
so let's-
studio.
I was curious, and I
layout.
figured we could just show everybody kind of like what you're learning and then why. Like, you know, I've been using Photoshop for such a long time that I'm like, oh, why would I use anything else? And you seem to like really have fallen in love with this, and for many
Well,
reasons, I imagine. So,
yeah, there's few. So one is, let's say, okay, when you look at this awesome, juicy looking, halftone, right?
yeah,
Like in Manga Studio, it's just like this one button.
that's awesome. That's cool.
Here we go. Here you go. That's basically it. That's the secret. That's the secret juice.
That's not bad. That's actually really great. So it's
That's
just
the-
that one.
yeah,
Because like when you go to Photoshop, you're like you have to rasterize.
Yeah,
and you do the
it's
halftone thing. And
like
you
all
bring
the
it
bullshit
back,
that you
and
have
it's
to
just-
go with. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one
Um,
thing. Okay. What else? What other really strong suit is there?
One
Let's say
thing
the
that
layer
you
system is good.
one thing you can do in Photoshop already. Well, you can do it with plugins, but not like natively. Is having, you know what lazy brush is?
Yeah, ZBrush has it too, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
it'll guide you.
Which is like
Like
it's
Lazy
gonna
Nezumi does it,
yeah.
right?
Like you see how smooth this is in Photoshop. It would be more difficult, right?
Yeah.
Like if you draw slower, it's obviously not going to be as smooth. But let's say if you want to make like a mark, like it's going to be super easy. And you have a setting for it. Like you can do this. It's called stabilization,
Oh, that's
and
cool.
and basically like even on default, it's going to be pretty smooth. But you can make it like really harsh, where it's just going to like
That's
gonna-
cool though.
yeah, and it's really good for like a very smooth lines and whatnot. So that's built in. So I really like that, and I think it has a better emulation of pens and pencils and shit like that. Like let me jump into like a pencil. So I don't know. Like some of those work really well. Some of the custom pencils work really well. I don't know if this one is gonna look good, but I think like a regular pencil. Let me actually open just a new one.
And it's like the same kind of operations of like making a new document. You just
Yeah,
open,
it's
create a
pretty
new
much-
one. It's the same kind of thing, like DPI and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What's one thing I always question, you talked about it before, is like DPI range. You don't ever really print your stuff. So do you deal with that, the DPI stuff?
So for this image, let me try to find. I need to set up my shortcuts. You can do it easily too. In
Sure.
this, it's like a shortcut
Preferences and
settings,
stuff.
and you just set up your shortcuts. I haven't done it yet. I'm kind of clicking through because I'm still learning this. So in image resolution, this one is like 14,000 on almost 12,000 pixels. This image,
Okay.
and I have it at 150 DPI. If you change it to like inches, that's 93 inches by 74 inches.
Damn, you can cover your house.
Yeah, I want to basically wallpaper my house with it. But for larger prints, unless you're doing like say book covers or covers for like a CD or a DVD, right? That's where you use 300 to 600 DPI.
Yeah.
But for like a posters, 150 is usually fine, unless you're gonna be like standing like right up front with it. You know, that's where you're gonna see those little dots. And DPI basically stands for, from my understanding, the knowledge pull out of my ass. You can Google it if you want to. As you're gonna probably get better understanding of what it actually is basically how many dots are inside like a millimeter or like an inch, right? I think it's inside of inch, right? Like squared inch. This is the amount of like those little dots that basically, dots per inch. There you go. Like the amount of those little dots that basically compose this grayscale. So when you look at it, for instance, when you look at this halftone right here, when you zoom out, it just becomes grayscale, right? And this is pretty much, in more or less in very lame way of explaining it. This is how DPI works in real world.
You could do it. You could
In
do it.
printing.
Try it again.
Real world in printing. It's just fucking tongue bender. But yeah, that's, I find that 150 should be enough. I'll probably test it and see like how, because I want to print it. I want to print it really large too. I have another image that I'll probably print.
What's your end goal with all this stuff? Drawing these sexy ladies with guns, with dead peeps. Maciej's girly girls.
The end goal of drawing boobies. I don't know.
Are you just doing it because like it's just what you want to do? Then,
exactly.
Right? Okay.
When I started working, so the person that actually convinced me to start working on sort of my own ideas and
live easy.
Yeah, live easy. But not in terms of like just paint an image and move on, but just like try to create worlds was Danny, obviously. Like I remember was like nagging me, like, dude, start your own IP, man. I cannot repeat his voice. I should actually get him here on a Twitch or maybe on Art Cafe and again and talk with him again, because he's such a cool dude. Everyone knows that. But he got me into that hype, and then I was doing those colorful images in the first place, but then eventually I picked up this black and white style somewhere down the road. So I'm opening this big ass painting that I've done in the Manga studio prior to this.
How's it work? Is it based on like your RAM? Is it RAM heavy or is it CPU heavy?
Dude, I don't know. I think it's like Photoshop. It's gonna use RAM and CPU. I think that's basically what it's gonna use. I'm not sure
dark,
if it's
dude. This is a dark image.
I know.
What were you thinking when you made this piece? Were you upset?
I was in a very bad mood, I guess. But there's like the beacon of hope, which is the spinning circle.
Yeah,
it might crash because I haven't restarted my computer in like forever. And
could be a RAM issue then.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it's loading. There we go. It's a huge file. That file is basically like 8 feet tall, I think.
Whoa.
In 300 DPI, maybe. I can't remember.
Damn.
I might have to open it up later.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
That now.
It's taking forever.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you could, I'm just curious to see like what are the strong suits? Like why would I use this to draw like Lost Boy, for example, or like why would anybody watching this like use this program over say like Photoshop, which is like
right. So see what I'm doing here. Like this kind of looks like pencil, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And it's right in the inside the software. Like you don't have to like, can I find a pencil? The brush, like, I like how brushes behave. Like when you paint, they kind of behave similar way as like watercolors. So they already have like this built-in blending in. You know?
It's kind of like the smudge then, huh?
Yeah, but it's like you also have a smudge as well that works really well too.
Nice.
Like it's all more painterly intuitive compared to Photoshop, I would say. Photoshop has its own strengths, and like for a majority of commercial
manipulation,
like for photo manipulation, kit bashing, photo bashing, or anything like that, I would say Photoshop is still the beast to
Yeah.
go with. I actually found out that the new version of Photoshop, when you're doing like when you do like a liquify,
Mm-hmm.
and if you have a face in it, in the liquify thing, it will automatically recognize the face and start drawing like those outlines around the nose and
The
and,
AI will
and
recognize
chin
it,
and
face
like and stuff
recognition.
like that. And you basically can just do like those photo manipulations that they do for like the covers of magazines and whatnot, where like let's make the nose smaller and like eyes more bigger or wider, and the chin's too big, so let's
Sure.
crank it down a little bit. So you can do that now in Photoshop, which is
Damn.
kind of crazy. It works really crazy.
Yeah. It's just getting out of control.
Yeah, it does.
Creating aliens, basically.
So you have those pencils.
So the pencil.
You have like
right?
pastels. So
That's
it's all
cool.
looking pretty good.
What are you using when you draw like the
I use-
girlies?
I use like the pen.
The quill and stuff?
So you have
And
like different
Can you
pens. Like
pronounce the names of the bottom ones there? Can you tell me what those are called?
what those? I don't know, man.
Read that to me.
So here's an awesome thing about it. It's just like you
looks
have
good.
this community. Search for additional materials.
Okay.
So you have like assets, and you can basically download to inside of the software things that other things that other people have created.
Is there a
which is-
Google Translate on this beast? Oh, that's cool. So you could look at the drawing, then you can go like, okay, I want that brush, and you can just grab that brush.
Yeah, like let's say I want this guy. So
What's that one called? Read it out.
I don't know,
Use
man.
that voice?
I have to log in to do this.
Oh, okay.
I can't
Log in.
remember my
Let's show
login
us
either.
Your login information. Let's watch that too.
All right, let me
No, just joking. Just joking.
let me actually log in.
Okay.
Oh no!
Okay.
You can
Yeah,
know my
Kuciara,
email. Fuck it. Everyone knows my email, anyways. Anyways. So I logged in. I press download, and it downloads that shit inside the software. And I can't remember what that was. I think it was somewhere. It should be somewhere here in downloads.
I need some Google Translate up in here though.
Yeah, there it is.
Ah, snap. That's cool.
So all you have to do now is drag and drop, and you're done, and you can start using it.
Damn, that's awesome. So cool. So then that's
And it looks
based on a
like look,
community.
that one looks really cool too.
Yeah, it's fresh. That's more in like a pencil, I guess.
Yeah, like a pencil or pen, like a drying out pen, some kind of stuff like that. So
Damn, that's pretty sick. There's inside of Photoshop, there's this guy that makes these really awesome brushes. I don't know what it is. I still haven't figured out how to use them properly. I just
right.
It's so easy to use Photoshop in comparison, like say like learning ZBrush, I guess. That's because I'm familiar with it. But I
Yeah.
still am so lazy with it. I'm like, I don't want to learn. You know, like when I took your class, like when we first started the school, there were so many things I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I never even tried to learn that. But
But see, for instance, like let's say I want to do like this little detail under eyes right here, right?
yeah,
So I can start doing that here.
it's kind of like
Actually,
that
it's a
guy we
wrong layer.
follow on Instagram, that badass like beast that does like the
Yeah.
like anime things. He was doing some crazy stuff. I'm like, what the hell? You remember I was showing you that, and I was like, what the hell is he using? This is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. That's what it is. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it also has like vector layers and rasterized layers. So rasterized layers would be just like your regular Photoshop layers, right? And obviously vector layers is all vectors. So when
Yeah.
you scale it up, it's gonna take forever to scale it up, obviously. The engine works pretty well, I would say, for those things, but generally speaking, it's gonna work pretty well, you know. And you can, when you scale it up, you're not gonna have that pixelated feel to it. Like it's gonna rasterize it, like scale it properly, like you would rescale in say Illustrator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So all that jazz works
That
pretty well.
jazz.
So yeah, dude, I think you would benefit in using I mean UI
Is it just because it feels more like real, tangible? Like, will you like? Because I remember like we both kind of did this thing where we're like, we're gonna draw comics, and we went out and like bought all this like real life gear, and then we're like, oh, this is so hard. We suck. Where's the Control Z? And then we
Where's
ended
the
up going back to
Control-C?
Photoshop.
Exactly. That was my biggest issue. Why I've never. Here's the answer. Why I've never done a comic, because I suck at it.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like like since I was a kid, and I think you share the same dream, is like because we grew up with comics, like, oh, we want to
Yeah.
be comic artists, like when we look at a body of work, like let's say Otomo's, like Akira, it's like it's ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
and when you see that, you can't help but be inspired and wanting to do the same thing. But then when you go and try to do it, you're like, wow, I really suck. I'm not good at telling a story or camera placement. And then you have to go learn all those things, and I think those are, you could be a great draftsman and a great draftswoman and be really great at art, but that doesn't mean you can tell a story and make a comic, 'cause that's a whole different, I think that's probably one of the hardest art forms, honestly.
It's basically
like, what the hell?
it's basically like you are a film director, but you have to tell the story in images, and you have to be good at drawing.
No, it's like you're a film director, you're also an actor, you're a prop designer, you're everything,
Yeah, pretty
and
much.
it's and for the most part, it's for like really prolific creatives, like let's say Otomo, we're using the very high scale, like
Right.
he's everything. He's the writer, the creator, the god of the world, basically. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty intense, But then you also have people that don't write, and they don't like doing story, but they're really good at drawing people's stories, which is
Yeah.
also really good. So
For anyone
but yeah.
who's curious, what is the inspiration for the style? It's pretty fucking obvious at this point.
Yeah, well, we draw from our inspirations and influences, of course, like,
Yeah.
And that all kind of, do you feel like when you're drawing as you go that do you look back at those references, or do they start to come more naturally as you go?
I look back, like right now when I'm let's say like now when I'm working on details where I already have sort of like majority of the things that I want to do already laid out. I don't look at anything. I just look at my own brain and what I want to do with it,
Sure.
But when I'm starting and like let's say I want to have like a really cool detail on the wall, and like how I gonna draw it. I look up references, not only just like actual walls and actual stuff. Andrew did a great thing. He went to Japan, he went to Tokyo and started making photos of trash. I don't know why, but I found it really useful
Just can't ask
because he sent
why,
me some.
man. This is genius.
He's a yeah.
He's a
It's actually
trash
pretty
genius.
smart. Because who else does that? He did the Chipotle Life, and that kind of blew up. So
He's
That's
not here
why-
to defend himself, so we probably shouldn't.
I actually found it really intriguing. It's like it's funny and fucking stupid at the same time, but at least it's creative, So I'm
No,
not
definitely.
bashing. I'm just saying it's fun. It's
It's
fun.
He's like our little brother too. So
Yeah, he's the best, man.
How are you drawing this this stuff in the background? I noticed on the left hand side, it looked like you had like a photo that you manipulated, and like, are you doing like a photo bash kind of thing? And also,
Don't
she's
get
a
me
Daz model, right?
started.
Yeah, you pathetic loser. You're using
Don't
Daz.
get me
You're the worst
started.
artist ever. You big hack.
I'm such a big hack. Let me pull up like a reference. I want to show you how those things are done,
Yeah, let's show.
because you're gonna be. All right, I have like a screenshot from. What is that movie?
I love your hat, dude. It's so funny. Everybody's asking where my cam is. I got a.
We'll set it up for you.
Desk. No pants. No, I just finally finished putting my other machine together, so now I'm ready to like rewire all because I got the new microphone, so we'll do that, and then I'll set up the
And
DS
guys,
stuff too. So
by the way, I mean all the setups that I'm doing for Twitch streams and Art Cafe, we're sort of like I'm basically a person that's trying to fail as many times as possible, and then we introduce it to the stream. So I've done so much research on what this could be, and I'm still fucking sucking at it. Like because I'm bugging you like, oh dude, check out this camera. Oh my god, this new microphone.
Get outta here.
It's
your
like I
possessive
don't know what I'm
personality.
even talking about.
sure.
But anyway, so like I have this photo. This is so easy, dude. Oh
The
my
Frodo?
god, the Frodo of the photo. So you
Further
have
back.
so there's like different effects that you can add to a layer. So you have like extract line and border effect. Like extract line that's kind of this on default,
Photoshop has something like that. John was teaching us, but yeah, that's cool. Okay.
and then you can just like make
That's
it really
cool.
graphic.
Hmm.
Like you can change thresholds. This is actually really low res image. Let me find something
Yeah.
better.
it's like a like an Instagram image. It's like two pixels by 2 pixels.
That's like one of the references I found. But like you just apply it, just
Perfect.
change some
Done.
settings. I mean, this like the higher the res, the better the effect. You know,
Sure.
obviously.
Mhm.
But you can like this already kind of gives you sort of like a layout. If anything, it works much better on things that are lighter. Like if you're not like a night shot with some stuff, it's probably not gonna work that well.
Sure.
Or let's say like this one, it should work pretty well here, I think.
Yeah, everybody's asking. Maciej's showing Clip Studio, so that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about.
So like you do this kind of stuff and then you clean it up, and you already have like a very graphic start, you know?
Sure. And you're very much like totally fine with that, whereas like some artists are like, you need to draw it
Yeah,
from your
fuck them.
soul, and you
Who
need to use your
cares?
grandma's blood to do
I don't
it.
give a fuck. I don't.
Yeah.
And you like when you have fuck, what is it?
I was wondering if you would sign my name on all your work now from here on out. Would you do that for me? Like, because we're homies?
You can add like a border.
He
to
just
your-
ignoring me.
Yes,
How dare
I do, and I do it intentionally.
That's funny.
You know,
okay.
like this effect that you have in Photoshop where it's adding the border.
Cool.
Yeah, you can do that too here.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. How did you do that effect?
it's like right here. It's one of those icons that you click.
Okay. So that's
So
your
easy.
effects panel then? Okay.
Yeah.
How did you learn it? Did you just go and like try it out? Like
Yeah,
you
I was
normally
just
do?
clicking.
Just playing, seeing what happens?
Yes.
Okay.
Just
How much
click.
time have
And
you played with this software?
I started using it like 2 years ago, but because I don't use it for regular work, it's just whenever I want to do something with Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I'm gonna jump into it.
I was thinking about making an IP called Bro Time and then be like hot dudes holding guns, shooting
Dude,
ladies.
Showtime is not only about girls, man. There's some bros with big dongs too.
Please draw that. Please, your next
I
piece
will.
must be a bro with a big dong. I will. That'd be so epic.
But anyways, like you see, and it's an effect, so you can always turn it off.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's not
Awesome. So
like
it's live then.
yeah, it's all live, and you can always like readjust and do all kinds of shit. So I really like that because it's like you don't have to go through like different menus to find that shit and all that. It's all like right at your fingertips. So let's see, like there's this little brush that I want to test right now.
Making a new layer is very similar to Photoshop too. That's cool.
It's like this, angled pencil.
Chisel, yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And it looks, dude, it looks fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, it does. It's got some really great results. I remember looking at the. I mean, if you go back to your other piece, I mean, it's got plenty of like. This is very similar to the way that we both draw. I think that you have a much better draft hand. Like you have a steadier hand than I do. I fidget a lot more. But I think it's really cool to see, like, you can draw, like, I noticed that's the difference. One of the big differences in the small scheme of things between our styles is you can draw, like, a nice, clean, straight line, whereas I kind of, like, fidget a little bit. But that's where your style kind of comes from those, your inabilities, basically, I think. So, and so it's just a matter of putting the time in practice. And, again, these are all just tools, so. But the tools are important, too, so.
Tools are important, but yeah, it's just a matter of practice and the amount of effort and time you're going to put into something, because at the end of the day, we are not really that different, we obviously get influenced by our lives and people that were around us when we were growing up, and maybe situations in our lives that basically changed the way we perceive reality,
Yeah.
All of us have like different experiences in life, you know. That situation in your high school or maybe in your elementary when you get bullied or something, that might have sparked something in you that made you a very special person because of it, you know.
Sure, sure.
Maybe your thinking process is different just because of that one situation. It all sort of like works in this like one big, you know, it's like this one big maelstrom of things that happen in your life that shape and form who you are. But the truth is, like, it's never too late to start, and it's all practice. You know, obviously some people will have a better roll of a dice, and then will be born with genes that will allow those synapses to connect quicker, and you will learn faster. There are people that learn drawing or doing 3D really fast, and they're like badasses in a matter of months. But it doesn't stop you from becoming awesome or at least good or great just by practice, you know.
Sure,
If you put in the practice, if you put in the time and effort, you're gonna eventually get there. Maybe not to a point where you know, you're gonna be like fucking what Kanye West was for music, right? But let's say you set up your own goals. I want to work and be an artist and make a living. If you set that goal, you can do it. Like it might mean you're gonna have a lot of you're definitely gonna have to put a lot of effort. Like let's make that really clear. It's gonna be a grueling years and years and years of learning shit and failing constantly until you reach a point where someone contacts you and like, hey, we want to hire you for this shitty job that we're not going to pay you for. We're going to pay you really low salary or whatever, right? And that's you're like, oh shit, I made it. You know, that's where it starts. That's where it started for me. My first job that I did in arts, I was making, let me see, I was making $20 or $30 an image. That took me about a day to do.
Now you're doing $33 in an image.
Exactly.
So it's been a growth.
Just, you know, I've been talking about this quite a few times. It's kind of interesting also that we're jumping into this topic, and I kind of started it, but why not? I've been talking about this on several occasions during like talks and whatnot. I come from like really poor family, right? For us, McDonald's was a luxury. so just put that in perspective. McDonald's was a luxury. It was like a luxury meal. So, and it was just a lot of work and a lot of like discipline and a lot of this kind of mentality where everyone was saying you're never gonna make it, and I was like, oh yeah, watch me, you know. And you just kind of have to have that mentality. Otherwise, you know, if you just listen to people like you're never gonna make it, then and listen to them, then obviously you're never gonna make it. But if you try, at least if you try, let's say if you try and you fail, at least you know you tried, and you know, it's gonna be a sad moment, like fuck, I didn't make it, but at least you know you tried your best. Whereas, let's say you never try, and somewhere along the road you just realized, like fuck, like what if I actually tried? You know, maybe it would work out or not. So,
yeah,
I guess that's what I was trying to say.
Well, it's like Wayne Gretzky says, like, and it's like one of my favorite. Like, I was actually just rephrased it the other day in jiu-jitsu. Like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and a lot of times in jiu-jitsu, the thing I love about it is it's so direct and honest. And so when I'm like training, the other day I was training, and one of the things that I'm not really good at, I feel like I'm pretty strong at my defense. My guard is really quite strong, but my offense and attacking is not very good. And if I don't focus on like those weaknesses, then I won't get it. And so I was like laughing with one of my coaches the other day because I was like gonna go try something, and I was like, fuck, I failed. And I was like, how do you deal with that? And he's like, well, you know, like I just keep failing until I get it, you know? And I was like, well, okay, well, that's, you know, that's the simple answer. There's always an answer that we want to hear. Like when people would see like you drawing and go like, you know, how come I can't draw like that, or I wish I could draw like that. And it's just like, well, you've just sat and failed a lot longer, and then you've managed to figure it out. So I guess that's probably what we're getting.
I mean,
at.
that's what we were trying to do to a degree with the apprentice program in our classes, right? I mean, that's one of the reasons why we decided to do it that way, to show that, hey, like even me as a, let's say, successful artist, you know, I've worked in films, I've worked for big names in Hollywood, I've done some of the biggest video games that were out there, and you know, in the realm of concept art and entertainment, you consider this to be a successful career, right? I think I lost my point here.
It's okay. You're talking about yourself and how much you love.
I know how much you love, how big my dick is.
Oh, God. No, but it's fine. I mean, we're just kind of talking about, you know, the same stuff.
Oh
we
yeah,
say.
no. What I was saying is, I remember now. So even then, like when I took your class, or even when I took Jinya's class, I was just like, holy shit, this is something I've never done. And obviously, I could apply some of the artistry and knowledge that I have from concept art, but considering, let's talk about, let's say, the graphics design, the UI design course that I've taken, and I was doing it with you. How many times I did call you or wrote to you that I want to kill you because this course is so fucking hard. Like I just cannot finish it.
Yeah.
I cannot. I think I've spent like it was like almost like a full-time job in order to do something that turned out okay. And it only turned out okay because I'm good at rendering.
Yeah, it happens. It's same.
And I think it was even more apparent with the photography class. I would not make that photo shoot if not for help of, if not for what I've learned from Jinya, and also help of my friend Jonathan Berube, because he also gave me some tips as well. And I've realized that organizing photo shoot and making sure that you're using the right gear and everything is just like so hard. It looks so easy on surface, like, oh, you just snap a photo and stuff.
Yeah, no, it's not like that.
It's the same thing with art. So even
it depends on your intention, though. It really does.
Exactly.
Depend on your intention, yeah.
But what I'm saying is,
get a certain style or whatever. But go ahead.
But what I'm saying is, like, even though I can consider myself having a successful career, I still fail as fuck when I'm doing those things because those things are new. I have no expertise and no experience on doing those things, and that's basically it. That's all of us struggle with that. All of us when you start painting for the first time, it's gonna look like absolute garbage. What? And just be prepared, it's gonna look like absolute garbage for years to come.
Yeah.
But eventually, if your mindset is right, if your ego is not stopping you from learning, because what happens often is just like you learn something and you're just kind of like repeating to yourself, it's great. Like, or repeating to yourself, I cannot make it. Like, I'm shitty and I'm not even going to try more. It's like, it's your ego speaking to you. It's trying to sort of like put you down and like, oh, you're sort of like this average little thing that will never succeed. You'll never know until you try. That's the point.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And we all of us struggle with it. You struggle with it. I know how hard you work. Dude, you are working way harder than I do. And like way harder, and I'm amazed like how much things you get done, but I also know what's your work ethic. You know, it's not like you're just like magically with a touch of a wand like it happens. No, 3 a.m. I'm getting fucking image texts from you. I'm already like half dead, and like, oh, look at this fucking awesome thing I'm doing. And I'm like, dude, let me sleep.
Yeah, I stopped pushing you so hard too. I think I was pushing everybody a little too hard in the beginning. That comes from an insecurity place, from growing up.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good, dude. I'm not mad. Never mad. But what I'm saying is like your work ethic is just unparalleled, and you would never be where you are if you wouldn't work so hard. You know, it's not 8 or 9 to 5 work. It's just not.
That's
if
nothing. That's what everybody else does. Yeah. Yeah, you have to. It's the 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock work, 9
exactly.
o'clock to 4 o'clock work. Yeah, it's so hard to juggle that though. It really is, and I think that like we're still so new at this and trying to understand it, and really understand how to work within these realms. You're a new parent, you're understanding the dynamics of how you're working with your wife and just how you're navigating your own, client work and stuff. It's very difficult. But
And
it's
we're new sort of
to
like
running a company.
businessmen. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
holy shit.
yeah.
How many times you want to like quit?
Oh
Telling-
God. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just Learn Squared is very difficult to run a school and to make it so that's functional, and then also exposing ourselves personally and out there. It's really difficult. The learning lessons from 2016 has been insane. The level amount of learning.
yeah.
And I feel like it's actually really great though. I don't know if you got a chance to watch that Tom Ford thing I posted last
Not
night,
yet, but I plan
that
to.
guy's like my new hero. I think it's so great because I align with him personally. So he's like an Elon Musk, but he's in a different realm. He's more in our realm, which is really great.
Right.
And he had some really prolific things to say about just his conflict that he has with, like, let's say for example, like you and I, we work on a film, and we spend effort, like just so much time, energy, effort. We avoid sleep. We
Mhm.
remove time from family. All these things are priority shift, whatever. And then at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't really amount to much. Like it's there and that's cool, but then it's not saving lives. It's not like it's a very like I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, and I do love films and stuff, but I'm saying is like it's not like a world changing thing, so it's very frivolous basically. And so what I'm getting at is like he was talking about fashion, and how like fashion is about like selling the idea to people that they're not good enough. Nice. I was hoping you were going to draw bulge, so nice. You should do that. um but yeah, I think that it's really it's something that everybody struggles with, like what's enough, and then how to juggle that. And if you guys are interested in this kind of stuff and like that really high level thinking of like how a really prolific mind thinks, like Tom Ford is this designer, this fashion designer originally, but he turned himself into a director and writer, and he's a very prolific guy. And for me and Maciej as well, is we love to study prolific people because that's where we get a lot of inspiration. We've studied like Elon Musk and all these different people. But yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
you
like he
you
really has
learn.
a good grasp on like reality, whereas some of these guys are just like, you look at like say Steve Jobs, for example, and it's not right to talk about him necessarily because he's passed away so soon. But at the same time,
Swing away.
yeah, no, I mean it is what it is. But there
No,
was
when
a
you
lot of flaws about how he maintained his life. And the thing is though, the thing when you learn about this stuff, everybody here doesn't know me. Even Maciej learns to know me every day, and I
yeah.
don't know Maciej, and I learn to know Maciej every day because we're always constantly changing and shifting. And it's hard to tell when you're watching a video or reading a book on somebody, like you're only getting somebody's perspective, and it's never 100% true. So you must take what you learn with a grain of salt, because it's just like, a part of something bigger. And so I'm just trying to be wary of, like, when I study people, I also very aware that like I'm only getting a glimpse from another perspective that might not be completely true. Therefore, like, I always remember watching like Joe Rogan's podcast, and the guy, Brian, is the guy, the original guy that was on the show, running the show with him, like his co-host.
Um, Brian Redband.
Yeah, Red Band. And then Brian would like say something like about like an actor or something, and then Joe would be like, how dare you, like, you don't even know this person, like, why would you say that? And then he would just say something stupid and asinine, and he'd be like, and because Joe knows how it is for people to be judging him based on his appearance.
Right.
And so he was like, don't judge people because you don't even know them, like let's say like Kanye West, for example, or whoever, like these are just human beings. They're doing their own thing. It's really quite interesting though. And not to get political, but it's really interesting about like what's happening in America and the political system. And
I
how,
hate
like,
what's happening in America. You Americans should go outside a little bit, like to different countries, and then check out what's happening there, and then just get a little perspective.
Sure,
Um,
definitely. Yeah.
For me, it's frustrating because like where I grew up, a lot of things that people right now is just this outrage culture. Like, oh my God, how dare you make me uncomfortable? Well, fucking deal with it, man.
Yeah.
Deal with that. It's life. Like if you go outside of your, bubble of Los Angeles, then you're gonna realize it's life. That's
Yeah.
where exactly, that's how exactly it is. People are mean to one another.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't necessarily need to be like that, but that's kind of how it is. It's funny because I have a lot of friends that live in like foreign countries, and they're always like, "What's up with your country?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, my country? I live on a piece of land that I happen to be born on, that like puts me along with these people, and like I'm not necessarily agree with this, And like the whole Trump thing was going on, I'm like, I didn't vote for that guy. Like, don't say it was me, Like I had a like, it was pretty funny because I was trying to like correct people on their like misjudgments and stuff. Was like I don't. For me, it's just noise. I'd rather do other things like learn about
yeah, of
other
course.
things. Like you were really adamant about watching news and telling me all about what's going on. I was like, dude, you need to
No,
stop.
no. Look, I was not really. I was just having fun with it. I was just like being watching what's happening and just having fun with it. I know it affects my life because my daughter lives here too. So whatever happens politically to this country, it's really important. But hey,
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, and I sort of like borrowed this mentality from Tim Ferriss. I'm not an expert in politics. I'm not gonna wage in my opinion what I think about the elections and whatnot, because I'm not an expert, and I don't want to have an opinion there.
Yeah, exactly.
I can have an opinion about art. How
Yeah,
about
exactly.
that? Can I have just opinion about one thing?
Yeah.
I think one strong opinion is enough. Right
Yeah.
now it's just like a Twitter age and Facebook age. Everyone wants to have an opinion, so it's
Yeah.
fine. It's free country. Please, by all means, have your opinion. But I'm
Eh.
just saying, like, majority of people don't care.
Yeah, no, it's like why? Who cares? I think it's interesting watching you redraw the line over and over. I'm gonna change the topic because it's just like such a
Yeah, let's change
dark.
the
It's like
topic.
such a dark
Fuck it.
rabbit hole. It's such a waste of time too. I feel like it's such a waste of energy. Let's keep art where it is and like enjoy it
Yeah.
here and like. So when you're drawing, when you're doing these things, I noticed that when you're drawing like long lines like that, you're using the lazy brush kind of thing?
It's on by default, so
Okay, yeah, and it's like
kind of
halfway
there
set.
already.
Okay. And there's a lasso tool I see that you're able to transform
Yeah.
and move things around.
All of the Photoshop stuff is here.
That's cool. So when you're doing
Majority of
this
it.
stuff, when you're adjusting things as you go, is this like on the fly as you go in your process? Do you lay down the core root lines and then you go back and then add enunciations and weight and stuff? And then do you do the gradients and all that stuff? What's your like build up process?
So, sort of like the academic approach that everyone was just gonna praise you for is let's do the sketch and then clean lines and then start adding shades and eventually more details and eventually get there.
Sure. That's cool.
I like to test out things and see if I can make things happen differently too. Like for instance, like the face is already done. All the details. I'm not gonna add any more details to the face. I think
Mhm.
it's
Should add some
almost like
shadow
done.
maybe, huh?
Yeah, maybe some shadow, maybe some little things
Over
here
the
and
hair.
there. But overall, like this whole area right here, it's almost done. I do have sketched out the rest of the image, so I know what I'm gonna do. But I'd rather go like blocks by blocks and just see what's gonna turn out.
Sure.
It goes against your regular way of working because like you may be caught up with one area and then it's gonna be off balance.
Mhm.
But I just like the reason I'm doing those pieces. I just want to have fun and experiment. Like if it comes to client work, I'm gonna stick to what I know works really well. And I know like just laying out the whole image and then adding details at the end is the right approach because you're also giving yourself and your client flexibility to work with. But for a piece like this where I'm my own client, I decide where it's done and if it needs more details or not. I don't need to do it the same route as I do every single time. I want to experiment and see if this is a possible way of dealing with things, and
Sure.
it definitely
That's good.
is. So
That's a good approach too. I think it's a strong approach too. Is this
But-
the most recent version of this clip Clip Studio Paint.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, yeah.
like $80 over the break. Right now it's like $200 again.
Yeah, there were two versions. There's like the EX, which has like, I don't even know how different it is. I know we can make animations in it.
That's cool.
It has like actual comic book layouts. It has like different patterns for colors. Like this is pretty shitty stuff, but it does have like manga layouts. Like see, you can just click and you're gonna have a layout for
Use
your
that
page.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool.
So that's kind of like starts, and then you have like different things
But
you can. Those like presets, I guess. Like see, like you can put a grass here. I think.
Is it
I
like
think you
hidden or
can.
something?
I've never tried it, so
Sure. Yeah.
fuck it.
There's material. That's cool.
Delete. Oh yeah, there you go.
Huh.
Like
Yeah,
it's
put
sort of
grass
like
there.
it's like photo bashing clips and whatever. But it also
Clip
has
art
like
bashing.
it also has different patterns for your halftones. So you can like use different halftone patterns. Like right here, you can see there are different ones, and this is like really cool. This is like really cool stuff because then you can make different patterns and make things look different. When you say looking at Otomo's work, obviously he's not using this program. He was using actual rasters. But it's sort of like emulates that, and you can have like different patterns, and they look pretty cool, and you can make different. There's like different line weight and
Yeah. How are
percentage.
you doing your halftone stuff? Like how? So if you were to
I already
make, like,
showed you.
Wait, did you? Did you show me?
Yeah,
the...
it's one click. So
Well, I see that you showed me that. So you just make like a mask of
Yeah,
of
let's
something,
say-
and
let's
then you
go-
just transition it. Okay.
yeah, let's go here. So you see that shadow I have right here?
Mm-hmm.
So basically what it is just, if I disable it, it's just like
Okay, I gotcha.
just like a paint.
It
And then
can-
you just enable it, and you can change like the number of like the frequency of
DPI.
it. Yeah, it's pretty much like a DPI sort of thing. Like you can change like there's a lot of
Can
things
you
you can
change
do
the
and
pattern
change.
to like one of these that's in this little like monochromatic pattern set?
I'm
That'd be pimp.
pretty sure, yeah. Like you can change from circle to like you have so many here to squares. Like it's gonna make it look different.
Yeah.
To like some weird ones, to line, crosses, like little ellipses. Like it's just like a lot of settings. I use circle by default because that's how it's gonna print. I mean, probably for the print you would disable it, but I don't know. I don't even know.
Cool. All right. All right.
But yeah, like you zoom out and it looks like a gradient. So because
Yeah,
that's
that's
what it
cool.
would be at the end of the day, dude.
Damn, and we have 5 minutes left.
Yeah, let's. I want to look at if there were any questions. There were.
There was a couple. I've been watching them. There's one that came in. Keep going. You can draw. I've been navigating that.
All right.
Question for the both hosts. How do you feel your school compares to other teachers and schools out there?
We're awesome.
There, it's hard because I'm not really for me personally. I'm not. I never went to art centers, for example, or I didn't go to like other schools, so I can't give like a really proper response to that, other than saying that like it's amazing that there's other schools out there, and that it's amazing to be a student more than ever now.
Yeah.
And I think that I'd say from my standpoint in helping run and create the Learn Squared, as I feel that the things that we succeed in is we try to be as open and honest and transparent, and that's always been something that I felt worked for me when I learned something from somebody. So I think that's really the benefit, and also just like the direct source to people that want to learn at a very high level. But that's just me. I don't know. Maciej has probably a different thing.
For me, like the way I look at it, like I don't think you or me, we never look at other schools in terms of like, oh, those are our competition.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Or like they're better at this and we're worse at that, and maybe we're better at other things. Like obviously, when you run a business, you have to have that in mind, like what other businesses are doing, because you don't want to be, you don't want to run out of business, basically.
Sure.
You take a lesson from history,
aware,
of course. But we always look at what do we do from perspective of what do we want to do for the community and what do we feel like gonna help community and help our students. That's the major perspective we have. So we always focus on that. And I always said, like, Brainstorm, for instance, those guys are awesome. John Park and James Pake are good friends of ours, and we talk a lot all the time. They're doing the great thing. I know Kevin Chan from CDA. Awesome guy. One of the best live drawing guys, like for figures and whatnot, that in existence, I would say. I know Steve Jung. He's a good friend of mine. He had Red Engine School. Red Engine doesn't exist anymore, but it used to be a really good school too. I know Manny from CGMA. I spoke with him a couple of times. He's a really cool guy, and I think what they are doing is, by the means what they're doing is pretty cool too. So, it's everything for everyone, right? We're not gonna say like, oh, come to us and don't go to them because we're better.
No.
Because that's not what we're after. Like, we want to create a product and we want to create a platform where you join and you learn and you're happy with what you learn about, and we do it by our own experiences. This is how I experienced the world. This is what I've learned. I want to share that. And if you're interested, you come in and we'll try to do it for you. And we'll try to diverse.
And if not, then that's fine. This isn't.
Yeah,
for you,
exactly.
So there's, I think that's again the key is the transparency, and I think that I would imagine that most businesses, because it is hard to run a business, are compromising themselves and their integrity to possibly sell, just to keep the doors open. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of like how much compromise, and I think we just don't. We're very transparent. Look at us, like we're both the instructors. We also work professionally, but we come on this Twitch stream and we share our time with you guys once or twice a week, because we just want to talk with you guys and see how you're doing.
Exactly.
And also share anything or bring on guests and like people. Like next week, I'm bringing on one of our students. He's going to be awesome. And then after that, I'm trying to get Ryan Cashman on, who was my partner in crime when we did the Assassin's Creed stuff. So Ryan can go and drop some knowledge for you guys. And it's just like bringing this kind of level to you guys. I think that's really what's key. So, and it's just it's ever changing. Really, it is. We're constantly evolving. But I think that's really the key here, Like the other day I was just talking about it with the guys, is that I believe his name's Adam Alvarez. He's the creator. Alex Alvarez, yes. He's the creator of Gnomon School. And Gnomon is a staple, like this is what we kind of, when I first started in the industry, that was like, oh, you get a Gnomon DVD. That's how you learn how to do these things. And like, it's still a staple. It's a very powerful program. And they just, I loved his post because he just shared with everybody that after 20 years of him, doing this, that they finally got approved for BFAs to have Bachelor of Fine Arts. And I was like, what a crazy accomplishment. And so I just sent him a really nice note and like congratulating him, because that's not easy. I know how hard this is. And so I just want you guys to know it's like not about competition.
Shit, running a business. 20 years, man. That's insane.
That's insanity. Yeah.
That's more than I ever worked. That's more than my professional career. Like 7 years more than that.
He deserves the respect
of me learning how to do this shit. So
exactly.
It's insane. Yeah, it's such an accomplishment, and you just cannot stop yourself by just like congratulate and just be really happy for those guys, because it's just like, it's one of those things that, like, fuck, it's a long run. You have to be ready for it, Like, think of it this way. Like, let's say you do a project with a commercial project or something, and it takes months sometimes, right? And you're already tired, like, few weeks in, like, fuck, I don't want to work in this. Well, with those guys, well, we do have another 20 years of this coming up, so be prepared.
It's just a part of the journey, and
I love it though. I love to hear those stories.
You have to, and it's a part of it. One more question, and then we'll close it out. Maciej's got some stuff to talk about with like the classes that are coming up, and I have some quick news. And then you guys are asking when Ryan Cashman's coming on. I haven't locked a date with him. He's very busy right now, so it's probably in a couple weeks. As soon as I know, we'll make a banner. I'll share it with everybody. So just make sure you're part of like the community, and you'll know. But people are asking, are we going to THU? I'm not going. Maciej, are you going?
Cannot say yet. Say it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
maybe.
So possibly. Um,
If I do, you will know about that for sure.
Here's a big question that we got to try to do fast, but it's a good one. What would you recommend to a guy, me, to start making sketches, animations, 3D stuff? That is so big. That's like the biggest loaded question ever. I think the best thing I could give to you personally is if you're interested in doing this stuff, is really find what you love, find the artists that you love, study them, understand what they're doing. That's very vague, and you might end up just getting stuck in a rabbit hole because doing sketches, animations, and 3D stuff is just like super like, it was funny. I just did an interview and they're asking me like, what programs you use? I'm like, oh crap. Like there's so many programs now, like so many.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't like, I think it's a rabbit hole. So you got to be cautious. And I would suggest like focus on what it is that you really like and then try to figure out like how to get there by studying those artists or whatever. And I think that one thing I would also mention that's very important is cool, like learn from us and watch Maciej draw and paint and stuff, but always remember like being yourself and being authentic to yourself, and making sure that you're doing what you want to do, because like we do things completely different from you, and that's the uniqueness of it. And learning from us is great, but taking that education to the next level for your own self is really where you're going to shine. So
Yeah.
I'm ranting a little bit, but I don't know. Did I answer it for the both of us or what?
I think you did.
Yeah. Okay. There's my office, everybody. There's a picture. That's my webcam. That's my webcam. It's always there.
Hold on. Calm down. Calm down, dude. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. Calm down. All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
So before we wrap it up, I just wanted to mention we do have the new courses that we've launched on December.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago. They're still on sale, so don't miss out. So the first one I wanted to mention is Adam Swab's amazing awesomeness for Houdini. I'm gonna jump on this year for sure.
Are
I
you?
want to learn
You
it.
can take his class? Yeah.
Oh
that'd be
hell
cool.
yeah! I want to learn that shit. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's-
I'm gonna play the
Houdini's the
trailer right
future.
now, but
Yeah.
you can see like I want to do that juice here.
Yeah, Adam's such a scientist too, and
Yeah.
I've known him for a long time, so it's
'Cause
really cool
it's-
to have him along.
Because it's
road.
all like the procedural sort of creation, like
Yeah,
and
it's like taking your program and going behind it and rebuilding it. Basically, it's kind of like how Houdini works.
exactly. And I really want to know how this works because there's, I remember this experiment that I've done, sort of like looking at what Scott Robertson did with replicators, and.
Yeah.
Dude, I've done it myself. I took my own twist and my own sort of ideas to it, and try to do it in the way I feel like, just
Yeah.
how can I apply this technique to my artistic style, and that landed me a gig with X-Men. So
There you go.
who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? Like, dude, this is crazy. Like, I want to know how to do this stuff.
Yeah, Houdini's insane. And there's a huge learning curve that happens with it. But
Yeah.
Adam's is really good at like getting your feet wet so that you can kind of get into it without being completely
I think
destroyed
there's
by
some
it.
homework already.
Snap! This is great to
Kicking
see,
in.
Stefan.
Like,
Awesome.
dude, this is all procedural. So
Yeah, you can basically change the seed and then you can adjust it on the
yeah,
fly.
it's awesome.
Which is things that you can do with like JAMA teaches this. I think there's things you can do in other programs that allow you to do this. But I think
Yeah.
the key to this is that it allows you to change it on the fly, which is really quite significant and very important. So so if you're really
There you go.
curious or
Mentorship's
interested-
already sold out. So sorry,
Awesome.
guys, but you can still
Yeah.
sign up for Learn Squared and Basic. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna take this for sure because I want to learn that stuff. Like, dude,
Yeah.
this is for matte painting. Oh my god.
Yeah,
for
well,
reals.
The thing is, he can just custom make a greeble set.
Yeah.
And then boom, there you go. And it's similar to what you're using with the replicator set. So a lot
But
of
this
people
is
are gonna
more
be like,
powerful, dude. Replicator
Well,
is so limited.
yeah, exactly. Well, this
Yeah.
is like everybody that I know that's in like the motion graphics industry is starting to realize like Cinema 4D is amazing, it's very powerful, but there's also limitations to that tool. And then the next level of that is like understanding this software. And Houdini itself is as a program is very like they're very responsive to making better changes and stuff. I mean, look at this stuff, and it's really fast to do these things too. I think like to generate these things once you understand it too. So yeah,
that's awesome
crazy.
because like you can basically build like the cyberpunk cities out of it, like those really
easily,
far
yeah.
futuristic easily. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
down for that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm down for that. So that's the last one we've released. We released it like right before the Christmas
Year.
break. So
Yeah,
go
Christmas,
check it out. Second one is Alex Fagini's.
I'm taking this class. Yeah.
Yeah, you're taking his class. Oh shit. Yeah, we had
So
Alex
good.
on the Twitch stream as well,
Yeah.
and we kind of went through the class. So if you're subscribed for Twitch stream, you can watch it. Like if you have any questions to any of the courses that we started releasing recently, all of it is on Twitch stream. You just have to subscribe and just watch it. And if you don't want to subscribe, like fuck it, I don't want to spend $5.
Yeah.
You can watch it
Then
later
don't.
on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll post it to YouTube so we don't punish you guys. But we have to also give premium access to people that are willing to help out.
Yeah.
I think the key that I want to say about Alex's class, I've already watched all the lessons. It is such a filled class and completely loaded with like crazy amounts of information, way beyond ZBrush. Like he, of course, covers ZBrush, and it's the first time I think I'm ever going to be able to actually learn ZBrush and actually conquer it. I've been trying like for like 6 years. I've been trying to learn it, and I just lack the discipline. But it's not even that necessarily. He's also like he goes into like Marvelous Designer, which you were just watching, like incredible, like in depth, like with some epic, like really. Like I learned Marvelous Designer from Maciej. I learned it by teaching myself as well, and then I learned so much just from watching Alex and how his process, like these little moves that he does. It's like, whoa, this is like a whole nother level. So, and it's not even only that. It's also he does key shot, rendering, presentation, his thought process on creating characters. It's just like a fully loaded class. And like for me, when I like look at the price or I think about how affordable it is for the amount of education he provides, it's like, wow, this is really
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really insane. Yeah. So
I
I
agree.
couldn't speak more highly and how proud I am of Alex, and also just like look at. I mean, the proof is in the pudding too. When the students start to make work that matches. I mean, look at that, dude.
What
the hell, dude? How dare that person?
How dare you?
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
How dare you make awesome shit?
This
I mean, come on, man. Get out of here.
And if you want to be like, how are you going to compete with that? You got to be like, yeah, these.
And even like the sketching process. Like I like how it's applied already. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
dude, those explorations, like this is what video games companies gonna ask for. Like literally. So.
Yeah, and then look at Alex's even responding. Alex, I love the guy. I adore him. Every time I get a chance to talk with him or get to know him even more, I'm really, really stoked that Maciej reached out to him, or he reached out to Maciej. I don't know how that started, but the two of you guys got connected, and then you brought Alex into the family. It's just like I couldn't be more.
Yeah, I saw his work a couple of years ago. The visor image I've done with that little, that everyone was copying on ArtStation later on. I'm joking. I did like a visor image, and then I was doing some cloth stuff. I was like really inspired by his work. And I reached out, like, dude, do you want to teach? And I was like, yeah. So yeah, let's do this.
It's perfect.
Awesome.
It's a really amazing class. So it's totally great. I would definitely, if you're interested in learning Keyshot, ZBrush, Marvelous Designer, concept art, concept design, character design at a very high level, that's the class to take. It's really great. And I can't wait. I can't wait to share with you guys the stuff that I'm going to make for this class. I'm really excited. So.
And the last one, which was released, I think, first, was Max Berman's class for matte painting.
Yeah.
I wish I had that a couple of years ago, honestly.
Yeah, what the hell?
Like, God damn it. I remember taking Dylan Cole's class, which was really good.
Yeah, the Noman.
All of that, but it's
really
just like, they were really good, but this is like fresh.
Yeah, this is the newer stuff. Yeah, he's going to be teaching another class, I believe, with us somewhere time in the near future. And in that class, he's going to be talking, like going further into the 3D aspect and nuke and all that kind of stuff, because that's been a big request from people. The cool thing about this class too is you get to follow along with like his awesome apprentices, and he's got some really great ones that we brought on board, which are really got some really great ones, and just learning, and also just like his little techniques that are small but significant, and learning how to produce those different pieces and stuff. And he's sharing stuff that he learned from like working on major films like say Her and Iron Man and all that kind of stuff.
Godzilla, yeah.
Godzilla, yeah, exactly.
All this stuff that you see here, I mean, this is almost like a crossover for concept art, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because like if you do environment concept art, whatever you learn from a matte painting, that's gonna help you so much in terms of getting that realism in your environment designs too. So I'd
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it's like even though it's like completely different subject or slightly different subject at least to what my environment intro to environment painting is,
Mm,
it's like almost like a complementary class, if you will. Like it's a crossover basically.
sure,
So
sure. And
yeah,
everything really becomes that way. So that's it. We got those 3 classes. We also have classes from Genia. Jama's always got a class too.
yeah,
Have
there's a lot more
classes. Maciej has
over here.
classes. We have more classes coming up that
Yeah,
we're
we
working
we
on.
already had a
So,
quite a we already have a quite a few. That's cool,
yeah.
and we just gonna keep adding more and
Hmm.
more and more.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
want to build this platform.
If you guys have suggestions or things that you would like to see or learn from, please feel free to email us at info@learnsquare.com. I'll put the email there if you guys, if there's a teacher or somebody out there that really does amazing work that you would love to learn from and you'd like us to reach out to. Um, be action oriented, do that, let us know, and we'll try to do our best to do it. I will say, just be patient though. These things take a long time. Most on average classes take anywhere
Yeah,
3 to 6 months to produce. They're very difficult. Like Jorge's class is like incredibly long and it's a very strong class, and it took a long time for him to make it, but it's totally worth it. We don't want to just release crap. We want it to be great. So, yeah. So please, if you guys would, please, if you guys are really serious, you really want to learn from somebody, please reach out. We respond to all these emails and stuff. So
yeah.
feel free to.
The way we look at it is we gonna try to reach out, and it's a combination of things. So one, that person wants to teach.
Yes,
Second, that
exactly.
person has time. And the third is like the amount of effort we put into classes. Because if you've, whoever, if any of you have been following us from the very beginning when we started the school, you can tell that that we try constantly improve the quality of the things we do. So yeah, and that's going to continue. The next courses that we do, we want to make them as good, if not better, than anything we've done so far. So
Yeah, no, and that's just kind of where we're going. We're always trying to be better, for everybody. So, yeah. So, please, yeah, let us know. Feel free to email us. That's the best way.
yep.
Yeah, there's so many people, and we're gonna try our best. And the bigger they are, the harder it is gonna be for us to get them on because they're just busy and they have their own lives and stuff. So, but feel free to reach out to us, and also feel free to email them or talk to them and see if they'll teach. Like
There we go.
we can barrage them with all kinds of requests and stuff. We can ask them until we're blue in the face, but yeah. So, okay, we have to go. It's
Yeah.
we're 15 minutes late. You guys have been great. Thank you guys for amazing questions. Thank you, Maciej, for sharing this with me. I learned a little bit about it. I needed to go explore it. I think next
Yeah.
time maybe
Try
I'll
it.
go and maybe next stream we do together. I will have it open on my screen and then I'll
Dude, hell
start to
yeah.
try and
Just
draw.
let's do this together. So you will open it up and I'll kind of walk you through.
That'd be
And
awesome.
we could possibly maybe try to find someone who, hey, I think I know a person that works with it and is really great at using it. Maybe we'll be lucky and have that person on the stream to kind of walk us through, because that would be even
Sure.
better.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm down with that.
Fausto de Martini. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Fausto.
Yeah, Fausto would be great. John Park, of course, but John runs his own school. So if you really want to learn from John, go to Brainstorm because he's got an amazing school, James
Yeah,
Biggs.
exactly.
Yeah, so definitely check out Brainstorm if you want to learn. But of course, we've been like, John, come teach with us, of course, So
Yeah, we already tried.
yeah, and then
John, please come
Alan
teach
McKay,
us.
another guy who has his own amazing class, and he does his own school completely. So if you want to learn from Alan, then go and learn
Yeah,
from Alan
go
at
for
his
it.
school. So, but I'm more or less like artists that haven't taught yet, or artists that you want to learn from that don't have their own school. Those are the people we need, not people that already have their own school. So, all right, guys.
Yeah, maybe in the future we're gonna be as big as Amazon. Then
Yeah.
we just buy out everyone.
Just absorb everybody.
Just
in a big-
absorb.
in a big digital blubber. Yeah.
The
to
news
Papa.
from conceptart.org. The acquisition of brains. Nah, joking. Anyways, guys, awesome. I will see you guys next week. Wednesday is when Ash is streaming, and obviously Thursday,
come join
exactly
us.
same time. Yeah,
Wednesday and
every
Thursday at 1
week.
o'clock.
Every week to the clock. So yeah, guys, thanks a lot, and let's wrap it up here. And
Wave to the camera.
all right, guys,
See you guys.
take care.
Have a good day. Bye, guys.
Peace.